In the northwest corner of South Vietnam, nestled among 4,000-foot high mountains, steep ravines, and thick jungle foliage, rests the small valley of Khe Sanh. At this time in history, it is calm and peaceful. But for 2 months in 1968, it was the scene of one of the most bitterly fought and highly publicized battles of the Vietnam War. For 70 days and nights, a determined group of 6,000 Marines and Allied troops held out against a besieging force of 20,000 North Vietnamese. Was Khe Sanh worth it? Why did the U.S. military command feel it necessary to defend this outpost? This is its story.
Grandma would give us 3 bullets with a .22 rifle. If we came back with 1 bullet, that means we had come back with 2 bodies of something. Anything you shot, they put it on the table. Yeah, back in them days, we slept in the bed. The girl was at one end, the boys at the other. Underneath the tin roof. I enjoyed it because they had settled me. My dad had already gave me away. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and pick up the first part. That went real good. So let's pick up the first part. We're gonna start with where were you born and raised, and the first part that you did that I didn't record. Just say that again.
You haven't recorded anything yet, right?
I'm thinking record now. 5, 4, 3, 2, and I want you to respond to where were you born and raised. You on there?
I was born and raised in I was born in Washington D.C. at Freedman's Hospital, and came home to Charles County, Maryland with my mother and father, and I stayed with them until I was 4 years old. I can tell at that time, you know, it was kind of hard being there because I had one sister that's over me. She's a senior, but my father never did care much for me because he always said that I wasn't his. You know what I'm saying? So when I was 4, he gave me to Grandma. See what I'm saying? So he gave me away. And I remember the argument that they had in the room before the next day that I got sent away. Because I heard the argument, then the next day I got sent away, and then I didn't get to come back. So I gave away, and I went to live with Grandma, which I had a better time of because I could help out with Grandma, you know, over there, collect the eggs. I wasn't scared of the snakes. Be snakes sitting underneath chicken sometimes, snakes be in here, and I wasn't afraid of them. I don't know why that was. Just wasn't. Everybody else was afraid. I'm not what. I was pretty. Ended up, if the snake was on there, I'd grab him and throw him down in the floor and get the eggs. I even took an egg out of the snake's mouth one time. And grew up like that. So when I first, I did good on the farm. And then I went back home when I was 9 years old. Went back, Mama came and got me, and I went back home, came back to because we lived on 48 in the place. Came back home when I was 9, and first of the month, the Superman and all that, the first back in this was, when I was 9 years old, this was 1960. You know what I'm saying? I was born in 1951, so this was 1960, and I buy those Superman comic books. And a store called Pearl Store. I bought one in there, and I was walking down the sidewalk by the white fence going towards the Coca-Cola plant, reading the book. The bird, you wait all month for it. Didn't have TV and all back in them days. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just reading. And this lady and her daughter will come to me. They saw me, but I didn't see them because I was reading the book. But in 1960, if I had seen them, I was supposed to get out of the way. And I didn't do that. And the little girl just ran right into me intentionally. And I got up against the fence because that's what you're supposed to do. And hope they just go away, you know what I'm saying? And the lady kept on going, and the girl came back and called me a bunch of those names that those people call you back in the days. And I just stood there getting fit, put my book down. I put my book behind me. I said, whatever happened, I don't want to mess my book up. Snow was on the ground. Remember that? It was cold. It was like in November, back when I was a child. The snow got on the ground in November. It didn't get off the ground until late March. So the ladies called and they said, Ricky, come on, leave him alone. He ain't bothering us. And the girl said, I need to teach this nigger a lesson. She was like my age. She was small, because later on in life I seen her, and she was like my age. But she said she's going to teach this nigger a lesson. I seen people do that to old little girls and all, do that to older black people, call them girl, call them that and this and that. But that's the first time when it personally challenged me. Mm-hmm. Now all I want to do is just walk away, just leave me alone. She tried to kick me in my leg and I deflected the kick. I don't know why I did it. But I did it. Then she got vicious. I seen her in her eye, vicious head, you nigger. And tried to do it again. And I said, that's enough of that. So I struck her, knocked her down. That's when her mother ran back. You little monkey. And I shoved her off the sidewalk too. And I ran. And across the street was a place called a hotel, right by the railroad track, because the train used to stop there. And I ran behind there, had a bar right around back where the black people could go in the bar, around the back out of sight. And I ran around and hid in the car. It wasn't until years later I found out that one of the maids, a black person, in that hotel was one that told where I went, told who I was. Because the next day the police came to my house and got me, and they come looking for me. And my mother said, you looking for Richard? He said, what? I said, no, I'm not looking for that one, I'm looking for that boy. I said, my son ain't doing anything to you. To anybody. Girl, you better get him out of here. And they grabbed my mama by her shoulder and I ran out there. I said, y'all let us go. And they took me to the sheriff's office, which was down the steps underneath the courthouse at that time. And they stomped me and beat me like a... And they put me over in that little jail. It was like November, and I stayed in that little jail till like April, with planting time, when Judge Mitchell come there to get hands out of jail, have planted his tobacco crop, and see me out in that jailhouse yard, splitting wood. Asked me why I was there, I don't know. They put me in, so that's why I'm at. Who are you, boy? And I told him who it was. He told me, you going over there and get in that car. I got in his car. He took me home. I asked my dad, I said, why you didn't come get me? I never wanted you anyway. That's what he said. That right there killed between me and him. That was it. I was 9 years old when I went in there. I was 10 years old when I got out, because my birthday's on the 14th of January. I was 10 when I got out. That killed between me and him. I went back with my grandmama. Didn't get in no more trouble until I was 14, and then that was the first year of integration. And the state police had to come and force some of them teachers to go in school and teach. We're not going to teach those niggas and all that. And the state police, and they had little bills and soldiers down there with their little uniforms and stuff like that on. And what the National Guard, whatever that things was. But they made them. They took some of them away, but they brought them back. They were back. One of them that they took away, I remember the ones they took away. One they took away, She was very nasty. Ain't called names yet. But at any rate, this was September when this went on. In January, being that we live on, back in those days, a lot of children lived on farm. They had a thing that they called, I forget exactly what it's called, but what it meant was that farm children had to get up and feed animals and do a lot of stuff before they could do, come to school and whatever. So sometimes it might be that it worked fine for them white kids, but when I come in there and put my leg slip on the desk, that woman said, "No, nigga, you're not going to interrupt my class." I said, "They did, they signed." Hell, what they said? She hit me with that pointer thing. And I said, "You know what? In my mind, that's enough. That's it. I was 14. That's it." And I turned on. When I turned around, she looked at me and seen me when I turned. "Boy, you better get that look out of your eyes." I said, "No, ma'am. You shouldn't hit me. I didn't do nothing to you." "Boy, I'm going to call the police." I said, "Well, you can call them. They're not here now. And I don't think they're going to get here in time enough to help you." And I rushed on and I so-called assaulted her, which I think I did. And they sent me to Maryland Penitentiary. And by the time I got in Maryland Penitentiary, I was 15. Greenmount Avenue, Maryland Penitentiary, the castle. And I stayed in it from 15 to 17, almost 18 years old. When I heard him say, "Open my cell." I was in a cell with a black man that had been in there since 1939, doing life for speaking to a white woman. Understand what I'm saying? I heard when they say open cell. So when they say that, you get on, you sit, if it's daytime and we locked in, then you sit on your bunk. If whoever got the bottom bunk, the person that owns the bunk sit close to where the pillow is, the other person sits on the other end. He had the bottom. I was standing by there and he said, "Young, sit down." Because if you're standing up, that they perceive that as a threat. He said, "Sit down." I sat down. Because it was locking, because somebody had got cut or something by like a week before, going down the stairs to going to mess hall or whatever. So we was on lockdown, and I heard footsteps coming down the hall, down the tier, and that's the first time I seen a Marine dude came in the Maryland Penitentiary and got me. Walked right through the cell. Just opened it up. He did that, called my name. Said, "Stand up." The old dude said, "Get up, youngster. There's somebody to help you out." See, back in the then, they put people in the military rather than get you out of jail, because they wanted you to go die in that war. They needed bodies. So, it didn't make no difference to me, because in that prison, it was fight every day. You had to fight. I didn't really have to fight every day, because I was in a cell with somebody had been there a long time, that, I had a little team bit of protection. But sooner or later, you're going to fight for something, because somebody going to catch you around the corner or whatever. But I had a good friend, because me and him were there for the same time, race related. But the Marine dude said, "Step out." I stepped out. He said, "We're going to take you to Fort Hollywood," which was in Baltimore, Maryland. Took me over there. He said, "You passed the physical?" I said, "Well, look, what's going on here?" Because I was supposed to be locked up till I was 21 years old. I said, "What's going on?" He said, "Well, if you pass the physical, we're going to put you on a plane and we send you to Charleston, South Carolina. You're going to get on a bus and we're going to drive you to Paris Island, South Carolina. You've been in the United States Marine Corps." I said, "I didn't join no Marine Corps. Did I get drafted?" He said, "No." He said, "But your mother, since you are underage, your mama went and seen a judge." Said, "Do you know a judge named Judge Mitchell?" I said, "Yes." That's what they ain't one got me out of that jail when I was 10. I said, "Yeah, I do." Said they had to do it before you turn 18. Your mother went and seen the judge, and the judge said the only way out for him is if he joined the military and go. But the war was raging then. This was like November or so of 67. I guess, because it was 68, well, I'm not sure, I had to check, think about it. But anyway, took me out of there, I passed the prison. They sent me to pass, I breezed right through that. I've been in prison. I was 17, I've been there since I was 14. You hear what I say? You get strong. So I could do all the stuff that the Marine wanted me to do. So I breezed right through that mess and I was a Marine. Then I got to come home for 10-day leave, see Mama. She talked to me. And I'm sitting there talking to Mama, then Carl and our judge came to the house. Said, Richard, here's how this goes. Said, you have a chance. But nobody had never explained it to me. Here's what you do, here's what you gotta do. Said, you get out of the Marine, you go and serve honorably. And get out with Mama to tell you everything. Because we had to do it before you turn 18, before you stop being a juvenile. So I didn't know, I thought juvenile stopped when you were 21. Back then it didn't. Them folks could do what they want to. But at any rate, I did that. And I went through that war. It didn't bother me. I just came from prison. Didn't bother me. I didn't like none of them guys. I thought I didn't like none of the guys that I trained with in boot camp, in ITR camp in June. I didn't think I cared much for them. They were just people. Nobody I cared about. I spent 3 years in a prison where you don't get to care, where you don't care about people. So, but then when we got over there, it was January of 68, and the telefence was winding down, but it was mop-up time. So I remember we sat in a long tent, because the Israel rifle, M14 rifle, wasn't M16 then. M14, which I preferred more than 16. 16 is like a toy, but we had 14, but they couldn't find nobody to get us rounds for it. So we sat in this long tent talking. You could hear them all around, you could hear stuff way up north in the Highlands or whatever. I'm just sitting there listening, and some of them guys were just laughing and thought this was all funny. You know, they was having a good time. They all did, man. I'm just sitting there listening to this thing. I said, you know what? I just gotta get through this, but I wouldn't be worried about getting through it. I was hoping somebody heard and give me some bullets for this thing. So if somebody ran in that tent and started shooting, I could shoot back. I realized this, because I realized as soon as I got to that place, when the plane landed over there, at that, what is it, San Juan Airport, they opened the door and the smell came in with the heat. You realize you're in a different place. It's a different, oh my God, it's terrible. You realize that. A lot of people did, I realized it. A lot of them, they didn't realize, they thought, oh, we're going to be here, we're going to breathe right through this thing, and we're going to go right home, everything will be all right. Almost like when the war between the states, the movies that I saw about that, the Confederacy said, we'll beat them in about 2 weeks and then we'll be back home. A lot of them guys were saying, oh, we're going to get, them guys died over there. I seen them die. And so I'm sitting there, somebody better help me give me some rounds for this thing, because I'm sitting here by these people, they're making too much noise for what I'm saying. This is a crazy place. I started thinking about all that stuff that they told. That's when all that stuff that they teach you start coming through your mind. Then they ran in there and told us, everybody silent up, everybody silent up.